Okay, so for reasons already mentioned and more, today's young people are in desperate need of mentors to teach them the ways of the outdoors. My hat's off to every parent who's already taken on the task with his or her kids, and to every school and organization heeding the call of mentoring. But probably the biggest impact people like you and I can make is to simply watch for kids with desire and take them along hunting and fishing with us every chance we get.
How far do I got?
A couple feet. This way just a teeny bit.
It could be any kid who shows interest, really, whether he or she already fishes with family or one who's never had a chance to try.
You ready to go fishing?
Yeah.
Let's go do her.
And last summer, that's exactly why my cameraman, Nate Berg, made the call to go bass fishing with a very cool 12-year-old neighborhood kid named Trey.
Trey, do you want to go catch some bluegills and crappies, or do you want to go bassing first?
How about we go bass?
You want to do bass first?
Sure.
Although his parents are divorced and his father and grandfather do take him fishing, Trey is like a lot of youngsters who can't possibly get enough.
Well, Trey, today we're going to go wacky worming, bud. It's something you've never done before.
Okay.
If it was up to Trey, he would fish every day of the year.
I'll teach you how I set up the rods and everything and how to fish them.
Well, he's been hungry for the outdoors since he was born. He started fishing when he was 2 with my dad in the fish house. And his dad's a big fisherman, and they go out fishing whenever they get a chance. But since we live 2 hours away from each other, that's a little hard with the drive and whatnot.
I get this one, and I'm going to teach you how to set up the rig the way I do, okay, bud?
Okay.
So what we need to start with is a little swivel. I like using a swivel because your line will twist a lot with this rig, okay?
All right.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Loop that line and put it through, so you have it like that. Tie it into a knot like you're tying your shoe. Grab the swivel and pull the swivel through the loop, and then you just pull it together. That's called a Palomar knot. Okay? And that's the best knot for this no stretch line. And now here's the big thing with this rig. I use a little bit of 15-pound fluorocarbon leader, and I use a fairly wide gap hook with this. Okay, so there you go. And the most important part of this rig is a little O-ring. It slides on that worm, and it's fairly tight. Then you see that little groove right there? The hook can go into that groove, and on the other side of the worm, using that little O-ring. There you go, there's your setup. You ready to go fishing?
Yeah.
Every time that I take Trey fishing, we're gonna learn something new. There's one, Trey. Here you go, bud. Take the rod, take the rod. And it's very, very important not only to catch fish, but to teach them. Oh, that's a nice one too. That's a nice one too. Take it easy with them. That's about a 4-pound bass right there. The reason why I chose the wacky rig is because it's a really simple method to catch fish. That, Trey, is why we like the wacky worm, because them big bass love them. The simpler the method, the better off you're gonna be for the kids. There you go, there you go. One thing that I don't do is overload him with information. There's your fish, bud. You know, 1 or 2 things every time we go out. Now we need to get one of them to bite your line. We'll get them. We'll get them.
Let them go?
We can let them go, absolutely. It's all steps that you got to take throughout the process of teaching a kid how to fish.
That's the first time I've ever caught a big bass on a wacky worm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of fun fishing this way. There are several different ways that you can fish this bait, but the way that I've taught Trey to do it and the way that I've learned is the best is just make long casts and keep your line semi-slack, and then jig your lure, and then watch where the line hits the water to see that strike. Oh, there's one right by the boat. Wow. This is a nice one, Trey.
It is?
Yes, sir.
Think you need the net?
He's not as big as I thought.
He's a decent one.
It's such a simple way to fish, a great way to take somebody out who's young like Trey, and you can catch a bunch of 14, 15-inch bass and even get a big 3.5 pounder. There we go. I think we found a school of them, bud. There's a little bit of an inside turn right up here.
Got one.
Another one?
Yeah.
What do you got there? There he comes. Oh, hey, that's a little better one, Trey. That's a good bass, Trey. The one thing that a lot of people don't realize is, good job, that fish feed up. I got one. This is a nice fish, Trey. Oh yeah, there he is. And what this wacky worm does is it allows you to target the fish that are in the weeds and they're looking up to feed. Let's let him go. And those are really the most active fish. Go ahead and cast it up here. The way they're hitting it, they're absolutely peeling that line out. It's taken off.
Okay.
Let it sink, let it sink. And we're using 3-pound test diameter line to help that bait sink more because these fish are deeper. So that 3-pound test diameter line helps it get down there faster. Stop right there. See your line go there? That was a bite. Jig it a little bit. Let her sink. Reel in some of that slack. Naturally, of course, with the wacky worm, the line will be a little bit slack. So you want to leave that line a little slack for the jigging because it'll give the ultimate action in the lure. You want to maximize the action of that lure and maximize the pauses. It's the bend and then the pause in the bait that's getting that fish to strike. Look at your line go, get him, get him. There you go. There he is. But did you see how your line took off like that? That's how they'll hit it a lot of times, especially when they really get on a bite. It won't be just a little tunk-tunk. Just a little puppy. Good job though. You know, the one thing about Trey is he's a really good kid. So what do you think about this wacky worming?
Pretty fun.
Pretty fun? What he doesn't realize is I think I'm getting more joy out of the day than he is. See it there? See it? Is that a fish? There you go. Because it's really, really neat to see him grow. Now, did you see that? How it went thump?
Yeah.
As soon as you hit it? That's your indicator. That's your strike indicator. All right, you can let him go. He's actually become sort of family. Good job, kid. You caught onto that quick.